Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Detroit Lions and the Miami Dolphins. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah, twisting away. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, 22!
On second down, Johnson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. It's caught. Jones. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. He's going to let one fly for Tate. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play. Stafford to Tate, 62 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Stafford, incomplete, right side to tight end Rudolph. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Ends up a nice second down for him.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now as they'll be backed up to start this first drive. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. And his first look is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Taylor to throw again. He's got that one complete to Darbo. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Taylor on 3rd down throws incomplete. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Oh, heavy Lion pressure here, and they block it. And they are going to take possession of the football. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
And that's off the mark, incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The defensive end, Cameron Wake, brings him down.
Cameron Wake makes plays like that look simple because I think he plays with excellent leverage. Really does a nice job of being lower than the offensive guys trying to block him and gets underneath them and goes up and down the line of scrimmage to make those types of plays.
And kept him to a short run play there. On 3rd down, Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a gain of 8. Lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the left half, should be a fairly easy one here. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A pretty large mental mistake right there to give him the first.
It's situational football, you have to know you're down in distance. On that 4th down, any type of penalty would give them a 1st down, so you can't jump off sides, you can't encroach, you got to be careful.
Now Stafford. Open is Tate. Touchdown, Lions. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this first quarter. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The Dolphins getting set to go here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That's complete to Darboh. Catch number 44 on the year. It's a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On the right side, open is Gesicki. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Flushed out right. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. To throw again is Taylor. And this is going to be incomplete. The coverage that time excellent by Nevin Lawson.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The kick by Sanders is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there of 22.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On second down, here's Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. And he's brought down. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Spinning away. And some room to run now. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
That's a nice run by Kerryon Johnson, the rookie out of Auburn, who went in the second round to the Lions. And Brandon, you have to give Lions credit. They keep trying to find that running back that can be dependable for them, so they don't have to use Theo Riddick, who's more of a third down back, as their primary ball carrier.
They're certainly hoping to find it in Johnson, the 2017 SEC Player of the Year. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Lions on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. The linebacker, Stephon Anthony, with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
After the interception, here's Taylor. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On first down, it's Taylor. That is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
2nd and 10, it's Taylor again. Being chased out left. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. Here's Taylor. And he's got his man. It's Darbo. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. To throw is Taylor, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
319.
Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen to Drake. Finding room inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Now Taylor on first down. For Kidder here, it's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Taylor. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. First foray into the red zone for Miami. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Ready. 319. 319. Z.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Slow.
Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. And that is no good. He pulled it just a bit. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is. Right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now Taylor to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Hey, flag, 32. Flag.
Third and long, it's Taylor. Man complete over the middle. It's Drake. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up
and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. We talk about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
The throw by Taylor there, knocked away and incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Ready. 319. 319.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Win the rep, let's go.
Now Taylor throwing on third and long. Taylor hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
To the sideline, wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
And incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's third down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, he gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in his sight line and getting to that same part of the field, and they find each other for the completion.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
From the gun on third down, it's Taylor. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on fourth down.
Slow. Slow.
They'll indeed go for it. It's Taylor. That's to his running back, complete. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on fourth down. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. On first down, it's Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. It was a safety, Rashad Jones, that time, who was able to break up the play.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And the ball situated at the 9, second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of... And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Cameron Wake in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a fourth down. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Throwing now, Taylor on first down. Incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Second and 10 now, it's Taylor. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. And Mendola's got it, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. Now Taylor to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Amara Darboh, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. To throw again is Taylor. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Again, it's Taylor. And he comes back with one complete. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. And Detroit getting set to go now. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down. And, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation. When you're up in the 4th quarter, they're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They go to Johnson again. How did he stay on it? And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Jakeem Grant now to return. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time this unit was out here, Costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
Check, check. 40's mine. 40's the mic. 40's the mic.
On second down, Taylor. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Taylor to throw. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Again, it's Johnson. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
So it looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one fielded it. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back. There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
2nd and 10, it's Taylor again. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Sean Robinson forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. Throwing on 3rd and long. Taylor escaping the pressure. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Jones. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Lions will take over. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
They begin the drive with Johnson. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he stopped immediately there. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Stafford. Jones breaking from the contact. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. There's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The Dolphins' offense now heads back on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. The Dolphins on third down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Taylor. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here we go. It's Taylor on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory.